think one of the bigger questions coming out of the Battlefield 6 campaign is what happens next. Now, for the small percentage that is here for the campaign only for Battlefield, and you like kind of somewhat what you saw and what was there, is there more? What happens next is the main question. And I got some ideas as soon as the credits started rolling for the story. I think right off the bat, if we're talking about the campaign that we got in Battlefield 6, I feel like it's not done. And I'm not talking about from a technical aspect or any of that type of stuff. I'm just talking about from the aspect of storytelling. I mean, the game ends on a cliffhanger very, very similar to the Modern Warfare 3 cliffhanger from 2023. Now, the difference being that in MW3, you actually see General Shepard die. In Battlefield 6, you don't necessarily see Mills die. And some people are already speculating that no body, no actual death, no confirmation. Now, we can assume that Murphy shot her. But as soon as that happened, my immediate thought went to there has to be some continuation of the story in a DLC. Now, initially, I thought we could probably get a sequel to this story in Battlefield 7 and then continue from there. But I felt like, I don't know how long it's going to take for us to get another Battlefield game. It could be 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. I don't know. So you're going to have to wait a decent amount of time for that campaign, for that story to continue to evolve and come out. But since Battlefield isn't a yearly release like Call of Duty, I don't think that it'd be a bad idea for them to integrate a yearly DLC or something along those lines where you can continue to tell the story of what happened in the campaign and further it by adding another 2 to 3 hours and maybe another 3 to 4 missions. Just something simple to continue the story. I think that would be such a cool little thing, and you could even break it down in sections. You could do the first DLC, the second DLC, and the third DLC. Now, this takes you back to kind of how gaming used to be, right? Gaming used to be whenever you would buy a game, you would get DLC with it. Not all of the time, but a good handful of time you would. And it wouldn't be uncommon and it wouldn't be crazy that you got DLC continuing the story. Maybe just one DLC, maybe 2. And I think that this would have been the perfect way for Battlefield to continue to integrate the campaign into what they're doing, to continue to give back to the people, to the fans that are very interested in the campaign, that aren't just here to play the multiplayer or play the other modes that they have. The other modes that they have are fantastic. And Battlefield is a beast when it comes to the first-person shooter genre. Its multiplayer is some of the best multiplayer in a really, really long time. No doubt about it. But the campaign is still something that lacks, still something that wasn't able to be completed because the devs didn't have enough time. What's the best way to improve on that, to get more time working on it, than to get some DLC? And I think that DLC for the campaigns would be the best way forward for Battlefield 6. However, we ran into a small issue. But clearly, with Battle Royale being a big thing coming for Battlefield 6 and Modern Warzone over on X or Twitter confirming, because he has an inside source, I think, with one of the Battlefield developers, or he's in communication with them. He confirmed that sources told him that the Battle Royale for Battlefield 6 was still on track to release on October 28th. Along with those leaks, there's been some rumors that the campaign story is going to continue in the Battle Royale, very similar to what's going on with Call of Duty and Warzone. For the past several years, since MW19 really, you have had a continuation of the story in all Call of Duty games, continue or finish up or wrap up in the Battle Royale mode, which is Warzone. Obviously, I'm looking forward to the Battle Royale mode. It'll give the chance for a lot of people that don't want to buy the game, can't afford the game for whatever reason, to be able to jump into Battlefield and enjoy it in a free Battle Royale mode. I'm 100% behind that. However, continuing the campaign story there, I think could be potentially a massive mistake. I think it could potentially be a bad thing. And not just because of the terrible, terrible way that Call of Duty has handled it over the past 2-3 years, but I don't know. I feel like it'd be cheap. I'd feel like it'd be a cheap way to continue the story, because if all they're going to give us is every few months, they're going to give us a cutscene to explain what Dagger 1-3, Murphy, and the rest of the gang are doing, that's going to be kind of lame. Because when you're playing Call of Duty, you know that in a year's time, in 11 months, you're going to get the next iteration, you're going to get the next game, and you're going to continue from there. The thing with Battlefield is, how long are they going to continue to tell that story? How many seasons are they going to go? Because how long are they going to wait to release another game? Now, I'm not rushing them to release Battlefield 7. I don't need yearly releases for Battlefield. But if Battlefield 7 comes out in 3 years' time, are you going to have your Battle Royale mode in those 3 years tell the entire story of Dagger 1-3 through cutscenes, and we're never going to play a single mission from that? Is that what you're going to do? Because I want to say that it might get tiring, it might get boring, but people might lose interest. How much can you really tell just through cutscenes alone? And how far do you want to go? After a year and a half, are you going to continue to be telling the story of Dagger 1-3 and them uncovering what's going on with the CIA? So I don't know. I think that would be a very difficult thing to do. Now, I would suggest and I would propose that if you want to tell a story in the Battle Royale mode, I think you should start telling a different story that tackles, not Dagger 1-3, tackles maybe a different part, different soldiers doing different things, maybe a different part of the world where this war against Pax Armada is affecting it, or a different crew that's trying to unravel the secrets. I don't know. I think you could get creative and try to do something different. It seems like you always want to tie some freaking sort of story in the Battle Royale mode. Now, if you didn't have to tie a story into it, I think that could also potentially work. I'm not sure. But I just feel that continuing the campaign through the Battle Royale mode that's releasing later this month isn't necessarily the best idea or the best way for Battlefield 6 campaign mode to move forward. Honestly, guys, if we could get a fucking DLC, wouldn't that be great for us to continue to work and actually play missions? And I think that would be the best use of their resources and time when it comes to the campaign. I really freaking do. And I think that the fans would be getting a lot more bang for their buck, if you will. And they won't really feel like left out or like people don't care about them. And, you know, everybody, almost in every video that I do with Battlefield, someone's always going to say that the campaign isn't why you buy this game for, but I disagree. You buy this game for whatever you feel like you want to buy it for. And I think it makes sense. For me, it's the campaign, and that's fine. Of course, I'm going to play multiplayer, but the campaign is what I want, what I like. There was a lot of potential in this campaign. The seeds were planted, and there was a lot that could come out of it that's really good. And I think if you expand on it a little bit more, give us a little bit more background, give us a little bit more story, give us a little bit more substance, I think that would be awesome. I would love to have a DLC where we pick up in a mission right after the ending. That's what I would like to see in Battlefield 6. So I really hope that a DLC is something that they consider, because the Battle Royale mode and trying to tell the story through there could get very, very difficult.